In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I monetize this exact channel in just 10 days. As we can see right here, I can literally go ahead and I can reload the page. I can do everything you guys want. It will still show the exact same stuff. As we can see here, 10 days until monetization. And very shortly after that, we already had the first $200 day. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, 24 years old already. I always messed that one up. I'm currently doing about $30,000 to $40,000 a month with my own Faceless YouTube channels and constantly start new channels. And then I've made $42,000 with just 2 videos that I've posted. I've scaled the channel from literally $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. So you can trust me, you are in good hands. Now, if we look at here, for example, Martins, who have helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Here's doing $23,000 in a single month. Here, channel completely blowing up. Here, channel $12,000 in a single month. He won $4,000. He won $18,000 in a single month. Now, if you're looking for the exact same results, then check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me, and we'll have a look if it makes sense to work together or not. With that being said, let's get right into the video with, what exactly we're going to do. So the first thing we need is obviously the idea, like what exactly are we going to post videos about? I'll go more into detail into all of these things in a second, all right? Then we need an account. So how exactly are we going to set up the whole YouTube account? What do we need to do? What do we, not need to do? All of these things, you'll know everything. Then we need the video ideas. Then we're actually going to use AI and freelancers to create the videos for us. We're going to post it to YouTube and YouTube is going to pay us for the views. Very simple. In this video, like I said, I have broken down everything for you guys. Took me quite a while to put all of this together, so make sure to watch this video until the end. Now, with that being said, let's get started into niche research. What kind of videos are we going to post on our channel? All right. So first thing, I always say the work you put into, this whole thing before you even start your channel is going to determine if your channel wins or fails. And this is something you really have to take to your heart. All right. Don't make the exact same mistake and randomly jump into just any niche, like for example, health or, here motivation or, luxury or even, finance, just because people say like the RPMs are good, blah, blah, blah. Don't jump into niches randomly because you will fail. All right. Do this process the right way and you will see results. Okay. Now, there's a specific mindset I want you guys to adopt when you are doing niche research. And that is you have to understand that niches are opportunities. Okay. It's very simple. Niches are just opportunities that you have to find. Okay. Don't overthink and don't try to find the perfect niche. It is going to be very difficult. All right. So don't overthink the process. It will take time to find the first good niche. And this is where consistency comes in, right? You're not going to find the niche with the half an hour of doing a little bit of niche research. You will have to do niche research every single day for an hour or 2 hours. The more, the better. You're gonna have to do a lot of niche research. That's just the reality of it. Okay. And you have to do it consistently. Then, give it time and do not rush the process. If you're going to rush it, you're going to do it twice. Okay. Treat it like a business, not just like a random, YouTube channel that you're just randomly going to start. If you're going to treat it like a business and really, make sure that you pick the right niche and, look deeper into the niches, it's going to be better, right? It's just going to be better. Treat it seriously, okay? Then something, everyone needs to understand, this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation is, YouTube is a marketplace. And just like any other, all marketplaces, that, YouTube has supply and it has demand. And this is very important. And most people that get into YouTube, they think like, hey, YouTube is just like a platform where we just post random videos. No. That's just the surface of it. All right. YouTube is a marketplace and every marketplace has demand and has supply. Okay. YouTube is a marketplace of videos. Now, what exactly does that actually mean? So demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. And our goal is to find a gap between these two and fill that gap. Now, what normal YouTubers do is they take years and years and years to build their personal brands. They spend, no, wait, here, it takes years and years to build their personal brand, spend years building a connection to their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to actually build demand around them. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we do skip this whole process. Instead, what we do, we look for a topic or a niche that already has a lot of demand, but absolutely no supply. Okay. And then we fill that gap, as I've already explained. Now, how do we do it? And what are we looking for? So before I show you what and how we do it, let me tell you exactly what we're looking for. So we're looking for niches where there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply, which again is the number one thing when you start a faceless YouTube channel. The niche is, or there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing, super important, because if there are a bunch of smaller channels failing, why should you win? The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content than my competitors. This can also be longer content. We'll get into that in a bit. Then I'm actually interested in this niche. This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that niche. Is the niche monetizable? Very important, otherwise you're not going to make any money. And huge bonus if you actually post long videos, because then you will have a higher RPM. Okay, that means you get paid more per 1,000 views. Now, important is that this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find. It's going to be difficult to find something that's 1,000% perfect. If you do though, that's exactly where you can blow up channels, exactly like I did with this one. It's rare, doesn't always happen, but it is possible, but you need to find the perfect, literally the perfect niche. Now, tools I would recommend for niche research are Nextlev. It's like 13 euros a month. Super recommended. I'll link it in the video description with a discount code. And then vidIQ, the free plan is more than enough. Now, let me show you guys how we actually do niche research. So for doing niche research, we use a dummy account, all right? So a dummy account is basically a YouTube account that we only use for niche research. So we don't watch any videos on that account personally, all right? Now, luckily, the YouTube homepage changed for our advantage, and YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we actually want to watch. Now, we can use this for our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our home tab. And instead of me explaining all of this, let me show you can set this up for yourself, because once your dummy account is set up, you can, no joke, find endless niches with it, and you will absolutely love me after you've seen this. So if we look at just as an example here, this is actually one of my dummy accounts. We can only see faceless niches on here. Right? Only faceless niches. If you actually want to see if a channel is monetized or not, let me just reload this to show you guys what Nextlev can do. Then we can see here checking, and let's see, it should show not monetized. All right. Sometimes it has some issues with the kind of here showing if a channel is monetized or not. Here it's loading now. Let me have a look at this channel. So here we can see this channel here, just as an example, is monetized. Now, how do you set up an dummy account? So what you'll basically do is you're going to create like an YouTube account exactly like this one. And then we are actually, just imagine me being signed into an account here. I just want a clean homepage for this video. So what we're going to do then is we're actually going to look up the biggest houses. Now, this again can be anything you are interested in, all right? If you are interested in a specific space, that is exactly what you can look up to, right? If you're interested in doing videos about animals, that's what you look up, okay? For me, I really don't mind. So let's just say the biggest houses. Then we're actually going to click on this video and, watch this video for a little bit, because we want to show YouTube like, hey, we're actually interested in this kind of content. Then we're actually going to subscribe to this channel, like this video, just to show YouTube again, we like this kind of content. Now, while this is playing, we can already click here on the next video. Let's say, for example, this one is also a faceless video. And, this one is also one. Here's another one. Let's say, for example, now this one is a good one that we might be interested in. Here already, we can see like YouTube is, sharing smaller channels, which is super cool. And that's exactly what we want to see. Then here's another one. Also think that smaller channel getting a lot of views. This is exactly what we're looking for, right? So here, 11 videos. And, doing very, very well. Here's already, you guys, we already found a niche. This is how quickly we just found a niche. So I'll copy this. I'll show you guys more about this channel in a second. But once we've done this for a while, we can actually go to our YouTube homepage and, you see mainly faceless videos on the homepage. And that's exactly what you want to do when you are setting up your YouTube account, your niche research account. So with Nextlev, we can now basically also see what is the RPM? So firstly, we can say, okay, the channel is monetized. Let's have a look at the RPM, because that's also a massive factor if we actually go into the niche or not. So we obviously don't want a niche with a $1 RPM or 10 cents RPM or something like that. That's why we in general do long form. But yeah, we want to see and kind of look for a niche that has like a minimum of $4 RPM. That is usually the best, but don't worry too much about the RPM. I always say like the RPM and the views kind of balance each other out, right? So in a high RPM niche, you'll get lower views, and in a low RPM niche, you get higher views, right? So we can see $10 RPM. So this channel is making roughly $1,300 a month, $1,200, and it's doing quite well. Like, especially if you consider this kind of content is like straight up AI content. But yeah, it's doing very, very well. Now you know exactly how to kind of use dummy accounts and how to use here next level vidIQ and all of these things. Always super helpful. Would highly recommend it. And yeah, one thing for the dummy account, it does not kind of get set up in a few minutes. All right, so you'll have to click through your YouTube homepage for quite a bit. Do it for at least like 30 minutes or something, and then it's gonna get better and better. Okay, then we like to create new niches using the niche transfer method. So instead of blindly copying what everyone else is doing, we use the niche transfer method to 1000x our results. And this is essentially taking proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. This can be anything, okay? The title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything that is currently working on those channels. We take it and we move it to different markets. If we look at this channel here, all right, this channel is doing the exact same. So what they are doing is they're posting videos on medieval times. All right, they have content that is working very, very well. What is this channel doing? Doing the exact same kind of content, just for people, just for cavemen, people before fire. Here, pirates, exact same thing. Exact same kind of content, just for pirates. Here, exact same kind of content, just for homeless people. And it works every single time, as we can see. 28,000 subscribers. Then here, okay, 24,000 subscribers. Here, I don't know, 11,000 subscribers, I think. Let me just remove this. 11,000 subscribers. So it works every single time to take something that is proven to work and move it to a different market. So now you guys know exactly how to choose niches, how to pick niches. Super easy. Don't overcomplicate it. It does take time, and it's not the most difficult thing. It just takes time. All right. I need you to be very patient. Again, this will kind of determine if your channel wins or if your channel fails. Okay. So put in the time. Then next up, we actually go ahead and we need to create our account. Okay. Now, there are different types of accounts. So we have brand new accounts, aged accounts, personal accounts, and pre-monetized accounts. Brand new accounts are super good, right? Aged accounts are good. Personal accounts are the absolute best. Okay, so I'd always recommend personal accounts. And then pre-monetized ones, I don't like them too much. Okay, especially not for long-term channels. I don't like pre-monetized channels too much. If we want to go into some kind of trend, then pre-monetized channels are okay. Now, account age does not matter. Accounts from 2006 aren't stronger or aren't any stronger than a newer one. Anything before 2025 works about the same, so don't overpay for aged just because of the year. Please don't do that. You're going to save a bunch of money, all right? Just buy like accounts from 2024, 2020. They're way cheaper than these ones, okay? Then want to protect our channel from day one, so we start YouTube the right way. We want to use different email addresses for every single account we, start. We want to use different AdSense accounts once we monetize the channels. We want to use different browsers, different Chrome profiles. And no, you do not need any proxies, anti-detect, or anything like that. It's largely a myth for trust purposes, all right? A lot of people speak about it, but you do not need it, especially if you're just starting out. You do not need it. Not even, like, I haven't used it before, all right? So you don't need it. And I know my students are also not using this, okay? Now, we want to warm up our account to kind of increase our trust score. Now, the trust score is how much does the platform actually trust our channel. Now, accounts that actually need to be warmed up are new accounts and aged accounts. Now, how to warm up your account? We use it as a normal user, watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day, subscribe, comment, and like to different YouTube videos. Very important is that you do not spam. All right, spam wouldn't do, because then you get a flag. and then YouTube does not push out your content. All right, so don't spam it. Now do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of low trust score. Now this does not 100% guarantee that you have a good account, and that is why we actually want to run a test. All right, so by the way, always have 1 to 2 warmed up accounts. Always good for if you find a niche because you want to jump into it as fast as possible. Okay. Now, how do you actually go ahead and test if your account is good or not? All right. So firstly, we record a real 3 to 4 minute phone video, just a walk or a drive or a room tour. Content really doesn't matter. It can even be of your dog, of your cat, whatever, you cooking, like it really doesn't matter. Okay. Just any kind of video. Log into that fresh purchased or, purchased account and upload it. Now check after 24 hours, how do the impressions look like? If you have 0 to 50 impressions, the account is dead and I wouldn't use it. If you have 200 to 400 plus impressions, it's usable, good enough, but not the best. Okay, and 1,000 impressions is equal to high trust score, ready to post real niche content. All right, so this is what I want you to do for the account and set up. Now, again, very important is that you actually go ahead and you set up accounts before you even jump into niche research. So you can now go ahead and set up accounts to always make ready. To be sure that you have accounts ready to jump into niche, as fast as possible. All right. Now, if you need any help with niche research, account setup, anything of that, guys, keep in mind, we're helping hundreds and hundreds, or I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people to, get to that point of YouTube where they actually, here, for example, making $1,000 a month. We're here getting monetized with like in less than a month, 3,000 subscribers, then here, $7,000 a month. Or even here, first channel monetized. Here, another one, 2 channels monetized in just 7 weeks. I'm helping everyday people, and all of these people are not very different to you. The difference is that these people took action. These people went ahead and they booked a call with me, right? So go ahead and book your call with me right now. First link in the video description. We'll figure out how we can, get you to that point as well and scale up your Faceless YouTube channel. Now, next thing we need is video topics. So you can have the perfect niche, but if your video topics suck, your views are gonna absolutely suck. All right. So if we look at these 2 videos, this video here went super viral, 2.5 million views. This one here got 200 views. Why? Because this is a one-on-one copy of this video. We do not copy. We do not copy from competitors one-on-one. That's just never going to work. It's never going to work. Why? Because there's supply and demand on video topics. So supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but also in the video topics you choose. Okay. Now, how do you find demand? Is you look for recent outlier videos on competitor channels. You look for recent trending formats, and very important is you do not copy the most popular videos from competitors, because this is what everyone does and your channel will fail. Okay, that's exactly what we see right here. This video here absolutely flopped, failed. Waste of money for that video. Do not go ahead and copy videos one-on-one. Now, how do you actually go ahead and find supply? We use our YouTube search bar and we look for how many people have created the exact same video. If it's been done more than 3 times and you don't have a different angle to that specific video, go ahead and look for a different topic. Okay. Now, YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. And if they have already seen the video multiple times, they don't have any reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a different angle. Okay. And I'll show you guys an example in a second of a different angle, And how does the perfect video topic look like? The perfect video topic actually resonates with your audience. So ask yourself, do they even want to watch this? Some topics sound super interesting, but are very boring. So make sure your topic is not boring. Your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend, and then repeat what has done well in the past. I'll tell you guys more on this later. Absolutely crazy. This is like the most underrated method to go extremely viral on YouTube. Then leverage negativity. Humans respond better to negative things. Okay. Headlines, all of these things are all negative. Why? Because humans, respond to it. Okay. Now we have something called the topic transfer method. This is by far the most powerful way to choose video topics. Now, what you essentially do is you find winning video topics in other niches and move them over to your niche. This can work insanely well if it's done correctly. If we look here, just as an example, these people didn't copy, they took inspiration and completely blew up. Here, 2.7 million views, 350,000 views. Here, 2.5 million views, that the example from earlier. And this video right here got 55,000 views. Why? Because this video is for a completely different audience. Okay. Now, this is something that we did with Scott. We went from getting like a 50 to 100 views a video to almost giving up on his channel to $200 days within like a week. Okay, the interview is on this channel, so if you search long enough, you will actually find it. Super good interview. It's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, so it's quite long, but it's very, very valuable. Okay, now double down on what works. Once you find something that works and gets views, why would you want to reinvent the wheel? Double down on that topic until it literally does not work anymore. If you have something that works, do 80% of what works and test 20% new stuff. This is something that worked extremely well with Andre, who went from, just being monetized to $31,000 in just 4 months. Here we can see $31,000 in gross revenue, which is crazy, right? Now, if you're looking for the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me. We'll, scale your channel up. Now, the next thing is, AI and freelancers, who's actually how we're going to create the videos. So we have a few different options when it comes to content creation. So we can either do it ourselves, we can do the hybrid method where we do some and freelancers do some, or we can fully outsource it. Okay. Now let me go through these and tell you which one is for you. So if you don't have any money, but you have a bunch of time, just do it yourself. The advantages are they're basically no cost, 100% profit margin, you learn new skills, and you have full control over the process. The disadvantages are this is not very scalable, it's extremely time consuming, and learning takes time. And without you, there's no money. Now, if I wouldn't have any money and I would, literally just, get started and I would just do it myself until I make some money, where I would then go into the hybrid method where, you do some and the freelancers do some. Now, the advantages are it's still low cost. You do what you enjoy. So if you like scripting, you do the scripts. You still have a bunch of control over your channel. And the disadvantages are it's only partially scalable, still time consuming, some capital is required, and without you, no income because then the videos cannot be made. Now, lastly, what a lot of our students do is they start with this and then move over to fully outsource. That means, when you fully outsource, you have a full freelancer team. With that, advantages, it's not very time consuming, extremely scalable, still over 80% profit margin, time freedom, you work with experienced freelancers, and without you, still income. Now, the disadvantages are this requires some initial capital, around about $300 to $500 a month. Okay, that's what you need for fully outsourcing. Now, where do you actually go ahead and hire these people? So, thumbnail designer, we hire them on X, on Fiverr, on Upwork, on YT Jobs, and on onlinejobs.ph. Or we can even use AI these days. AI is super underrated when it comes to doing thumbnails. Like AI is actually really good. Try it out yourself. Like try to create some thumbnails with ChatGPT. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Then for script writers, guys, you can hire someone, on Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph. But to be very honest, just use AI to write your scripts. That's going to be the easiest and the fastest way, and also the cheapest way to get a bunch of scripts done. Okay. For the voiceover artist, we can again use a real voiceover artist, or we can just use 11 Labs to, get an AI voiceover within like 5 minutes or something. Okay. So again, you have to decide like, hey, let's do AI. Okay. Then video editor, Upwork, X. On X, you will find really good ones. They will cost more. And on Upwork are cheap ones. They're still good, right? So I would just go ahead and work with the guys from Upwork. YT Jobs and Online Jobs, same as Upwork, both very, very good. And then we have something called VidRush these days, which is also quite good. It's like an AI video generator. Next up, the channel manager. Now, to be very honest, most people do not need a channel manager. All right. If you're running like 5+ channels or something, then you can use a channel manager. Before that, you don't really need one. Now, if you're looking for a channel manager, start looking in your friend group first. Okay. Then you can start looking on Upwork. You can also use one of your already existing freelancers that you already have. Most of these guys are super good. Just make sure that specific freelancer is accountable. All right. Very important. And then YT Jobs is also good, and onlinejobs.ph, like some kind of VA, can also work for that. Now, very important is once you start working with these freelancers, always ask them like, hey, what kind of payment method do you actually use? And most commonly used are bank transfer, Wise, PayPal, and Remitly. Okay, make sure to ask that before the time. Then next up, we actually need to go ahead and post the videos to YouTube, where I actually always use my niche testing framework. This is the exact process I follow with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on niches that will never ever work. So first thing, niche research. You guys know exactly how to do niche research. Choosing an account. You guys know exactly how to choose an account. If you're still confused on this, go back into this video, watch it again. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually not going to take 5, but we're going to take 10 to 15 videos, especially for people just starting out. Now, you guys also already know how to pick really, really good video topics. And in case you're still confused on that, go back and watch that again. All right? As simple as that. Now, what we're going to do is in the beginning, we're actually going to go ahead and create cheaper videos to test the niche. Yes, YouTube is a video platform. Okay. But with a very good video, that means nothing. Okay, we need a good niche, we need a good topic, and we need good packaging. Those are the 3 most important things. Okay, now that's why we're mainly going to focus that in the beginning. Kind of have a look like, hey, is there even demand for this content? And that's, after that, after we've done that, then we start spending more on content. But for now, we're just going to write the script with AI, voiceover, AI, video editor. We're going to hire someone for like, let's say $15 to $25 per video. Okay. And then for the thumbnail designer, we're actually just going to use a freelancer. We can do it ourselves. We can use AI. AI is, again, super good at creating thumbnails. Now, very important is that you actually create videos that are longer than 1.5 times longer than your competitive video, because then you have a competitive advantage over them. Why? Because YouTube, in the end of the day, wants to make money, right? And the video that keeps someone on YouTube for the longest period of time is always going to be a video that's going to be pushed to the most amount of people. All right. For the thumbnail and the title style, we again do not want to reinvent the wheel. So we simply do what has done well in the past for other channels. All right. We don't copy the thumbnails and the titles one-on-one, but we take inspiration from it, take what is working, and we implement that in our channel. It's not difficult. All right. Just a bunch of niche research needed for, not niche research, but research needed for this, okay? Now, once we have that, we actually get into the posting phase, where we post, skip, post, skip, post, skip, post, skip, post, all right? So you want to post all 15 videos, okay? Now, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either the channel is actually going to get views, as we see here, and then only we're going to continue to post more videos. So we're not going to post more than 15 videos. If nothing takes off, and you're not getting any views, you do not continue to post videos on this channel. All right. You don't go past 15 videos. Now, there might be a few reasons why a channel might fail, and that is the niche, the video topics, the packaging, video length, and it's maybe a bad channel. Okay. Now, in case of the channel failing, just go ahead and restart this process. And trust me, if you go ahead and you ask yourself the question, why did my channel fail? And you go through this process like multiple times, you will 100 million% find a channel that will succeed. Very confident in that. Okay. So once you have a channel that succeeds, you actually get into the monetization phase. And now we probably come to everyone's most favorite part, how to actually make money with YouTube. Now, we have something called the YouTube Partnership Program. This is the easiest way to monetize your videos, where YouTube pays you directly for the views you get. Okay. So you post the videos, like all of these other business owners always hate us because we as Faceless YouTube channel owners can literally just post videos and YouTube pays us for the views. So it's so easy. Now, for us to be able to join the YouTube Partnership Program, we need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, this might sound like a lot, but people we work with get to this point in like 3 to 6 weeks on average. And I just had someone doing it again yesterday. Okay, so we can see after around 6 weeks, and here we can see we just crossed the magic number of 1,000 subscribers this afternoon. Could not be happier. Okay, even if we go back up here, we can see how quickly these guys get monetized. All right, here monetized, here. Okay, this one is just blowing up their channel. Let's have a look here. 2 channels monetized in 7 weeks. Monetized here. Here's another one monetized. Let's have a look. Here's a second channel monetized. Another one monetized. 1,000 subscribers in 9 days. Channel taking off. First month, basically moments away from monetization. Monetized. Many, many more. Guys, if you're looking for the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me and let's get your channel monetized as fast as possible. All right, always try my best. I love it. Like the average is actually going down, by the way. So it's been crazy. Like we've had a lot of students monetizing their channels in like two weeks, something like that. So it's been pretty good, right? Now, how much money can you actually earn? So we have a CPM, which is cost per 1,000 views. And then that is basically how much advertisers pay for every 1,000 views or impressions on their ad. Then we have the RPM, which is revenue per 1,000 views, how much you earn per 1,000 views. Okay. Now, if you have an RPM of $5, and then if you get 1,000 views, $5, 10,000 views, $50, 100,000 views, $500, a million views, $5,000, 10 million views, $50,000. Now, quickly sit down and ask yourself, how difficult can it be to get 2 million views, all right, to make 10K a month if you post faceless videos that people already want to watch? Tell me in the comments what your answer to that is. All right. Now, how can you actually go ahead and increase your RPM? We turn on alcohol and gambling ads, create longer videos than 15 minutes, and place ads every 10 seconds using Nextlev. Okay. I'd highly recommend you guys to do this. Now, what we can also do is we can get brand deals to make some money with YouTube, all right? So as your channel grows, brands will actually start reaching out to you to promote their products. Now, you do not need, let me start over the sentence. My videos are uncut, so you guys see everything basically almost live. No? But you need to negotiate with the brands and try to get a minimum of 5 times your RPM per 1,000 views. The higher the amount you can negotiate, the better, obviously. Okay. So be careful though, because there are a bunch of fake brands that will reach out to you. So do not just click on any random links they send you, and download some random documents, because, trust me, I've been through that process and I've gotten hacked already. So I don't want this to happen to you. But yeah, this is basically the video. This is the whole process. It is very, very simple. If you have any questions, rewatch this video, shoot all of your questions into the comments. I will literally answer every single question in the comments. And if you have any question, that's something I already said. So it's quite late. I need to go to bed now. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.